Commander Jack Reynolds stared at the blinking console of the interstellar patrol vessel Vigilant. A routine penalty operation to intercept suspected smugglers near Titan had just become anything but routine. "Sir, the vessel we're pursuing, it's not matching any known configuration," Lieutenant Rodriguez reported, her dark eyes fixed on the sensor readouts. "Power signature is unlike anything in our database." Jack frowned. The solar system's shipping lanes had grown busier in the decades since humanity established permanent colonies on Mars and mining operations throughout the asteroid belt. But traffic control was strict. Unknown vessels were rare, and potentially dangerous. "Continue pursuit. All hands to battle stations," Jack ordered, his voice steady despite the tension building in his chest. This could be pirates with experimental tech, or something else entirely. The Vigilant adjusted course, engines pushing to maximum as they closed on the fleeing ship. The mystery vessel darted between Saturn's rings with impossible agility, demonstrating maneuvers that defied the laws of physics as humans understood them. "They're heading toward the Tethys Gap," Navigator Wilson announced. "If they make it through there, we'll lose them in the ice field." Jack's jaw tightened. Fire warning shots. Pattern Delta. The Vigilant's forward batteries came alive, sending precisely calculated energy pulses across the unknown vessel's projected path. Not close enough to damage, but clear enough to communicate, stop, or face consequences. To everyone's surprise, the vessel immediately cut engines and went dark. "They're surrendering?" Rodriguez sounded as confused as Jack felt. "Approach with caution. Keep weapons hot," Jack ordered. As they drew closer, the vessel suddenly pulsed with light that didn't register properly on their sensors. Before anyone could react, a voice filled the bridge, not through communication systems but directly in their minds. "We yield to your authority. Permission to communicate without hostility?" 24 hours later, Jack found himself sitting across from Admiral Laura Bennett at Earth Command headquarters, trying to find words to explain what had happened. "So you're telling me," Admiral Bennett said slowly, "that we've made first contact with an intelligent alien species because you tried to write them a traffic ticket?" Jack nodded, feeling the absurdity of it all. "Yes, ma'am. The Navarans, that's what they call themselves, were conducting covert observation of human expansion in the solar system. They've been watching us for decades, avoiding detection. Their pilot panicked when we pursued them, trying to avoid revealing their presence. And they surrendered because apparently they have strict protocols about interfering with developing civilizations. When we fired warning shots, their pilot believed they'd violated their own laws by drawing attention to themselves and followed their equivalent of our penalty procedures, essentially turning themselves in for breaking the rules." Admiral Bennett laughed, a short, disbelieving sound. "So they're law-abiding aliens?" "Extremely," Jack confirmed. "The Navarans have a deeply ingrained respect for legal procedures and protocols. Their ambassador, Toll, explained that they're part of something called the Galactic Assembly, a coalition of spacefaring species with strict regulations on interacting with pre-assembly civilizations. We weren't supposed to know they existed until we developed certain technologies, which we obviously haven't yet," Bennett mused. "No, ma'am. According to Toll, we're at least 50 years away from the qualifying benchmarks, but now that direct contact has been established, even accidentally, they're required by assembly law to initiate formal diplomatic relations." The Admiral stood, walking to the window overlooking the sprawling complex of Earth Command. The setting sun cast long shadows across the grounds, a reminder that even this historic day would end like any other. "A penalty operation," she murmured. "All our preparations for first contact, the protocols, the diplomatic training, the carefully crafted messages about peace and cooperation. And instead, we meet our first aliens by trying to pull them over for speeding." Jack shifted uncomfortably. "To be fair, ma'am, they were violating restricted airspace near a major colony." Bennett turned, a glint of humor in her eyes. "I suppose humanity's reputation for enforcing the rules, even against unknown entities, might serve us well with these law-abiding Navarans." The following weeks transformed human civilization. The revelation that Earth was not alone in the universe, that humans were merely one of hundreds of intelligent species might have triggered panic in earlier generations. But by 2147, humanity had developed enough perspective to approach the situation with cautious optimism. The Navarans proved to be ideal first contacts. Respectful of human autonomy, they shared limited technological insights while carefully observing assembly protocols. Their physical form, vaguely humanoid but with iridescent skin that shifted colors with their emotions, became familiar on news broadcasts as diplomatic relations progressed. 6 months after the incident near Titan, Jack found himself aboard the Navaran diplomatic vessel orbiting Earth. Ambassador Toll had requested his presence specifically. "Commander Reynolds," Toll greeted him, skin rippling with blue-green patterns of formal respect. "The Assembly has reached a decision regarding humanity's status." Jack nodded, aware of the weight of this moment. Humanity's future relationship with the galactic community hung in the balance. Typically, accidental contact requires memory adjustment and continued observation, Toll explained. However, the manner of our meeting has created unusual circumstances. "The penalty operation," Jack said, "precisely. Your enforcement of your own laws, even against an unknown entity that might have posed significant danger, demonstrated something rare among developing species, a commitment to principles over self-interest or fear." Toll's skin shifted to a deep purple, indicating profound sincerity. "The Assembly has voted to offer humanity accelerated membership consideration, the first such case in over 2,000 cycles. Your species' willingness to apply rules equally, even to the unknown, suggests you may adapt well to Assembly protocols." Jack felt a surge of pride, not just for himself, but for humanity. "All because we tried to write you a ticket?" "Sometimes," Toll replied, skin flickering with amusement. "The most authentic character of a civilization is revealed not in planned diplomatic exchanges but in unguarded moments of routine duty." As Jack gazed out at Earth below, he realized that humanity's first steps into the galactic community had come not from grand gestures or technological breakthroughs, but from a simple penalty operation. And the universal principle that rules, fairly applied, formed the foundation of any functioning society, whether on Earth or across the stars. The universe, it seemed, respected good cops,